Temür Öljeytü Khan, born Timur, also known by the temple name Chengzong, was the second emperor of the Yuan dynasty, ruling from May 10, 1294 to February 10, 1307. Apart from Emperor of China, he is considered as the sixth great Khan of the Mongol Empire or Mongols. Although it was only nominal due to the division of the empire, he was an able ruler of the Yuan, and his reign established the patterns of power for the next few decades. His name means Blessed Iron Khan in the Mongolian language. Timur was a son of the Crown Prince Zhengjin and the grandson of Kublai Khan. During his rule, the Tran, Pagan, and Kampa dynasties and western khanates of the Mongol Empire accepted his supremacy. Early life. Timur was born the third son of Zhengjin of the Boljigan and Kokijin of the Kung Jurad on October 15, 1265. Because Kublai's first son Dorji died early, his second son and Timur's father, Zhengjin, became the crown prince. However, he died in 1286 when Timur was 21 years old. Kublai remained close to Zhengjin's widow Kokijin, who was high in his favor. Like his grandfather Kublai, Timur was a follower of Buddhism. Timur followed his grandfather Kublai to suppress the rebellion of Yuan and other rival relatives in 1287. Then he and Kublai's official, Oz Timur, came to guard the Liao River area and Liaodong in the east from Yuan's ally, Khadan, and defeated him. Kublai appointed Timur the princely overseer of Karakoram and surrounding areas in July 1293. Three Chagatai princes submitted to him while he was defending Mongolia. After Kublai Khan died in 1294, Kublai's old officials urged the court to summon a Kurultai in Shangdu. Because Zhengjin's second son Dharmabala had already died in 1292, only his two sons, Gamala and Timur, were left to succeed. It was proposed that they hold a competition over who had better knowledge of Genghis Khan's sayings. Timur won and was declared the emperor. Reign. Temür Khan was a competent emperor of the Yuan dynasty. He kept the empire the way Kublai Khan left it, though he did not make any great achievements. He continued many of Kublai Khan's economic reforms and tried to recover the economy from the expensive campaigns of Kublai Khan's reign. He allowed the empire to heal from the wounds of particularly the Vietnam campaign. Many other high posts of his empire were filled with people of different origin, including Mongols, Han Chinese, Muslims and a few Christians. Ideologically, Timur's administration showed respect for Confucianism and Confucian scholars. Shortly after his accession, Timur issued an edict to revere Confucius. Timur appointed Haga's son, who was particularly close to the Confucian scholars, Right Grand Chancellor in the Secretariat. Nevertheless, the Mongol court did not accept every principle of Confucianism. Timur bestowed new guards and assets on his mother and renamed her Ordo Longfugong Palace, which became a center of Kung Jurad power for the next few decades. Mongol and Westerner statesmen were assisted by an array of Chinese administrators and Muslim finances. The most prominent Muslim statesman was Bayan, great-grandson of Sayyid Adil Shams al-Din, who was in charge of the Ministry of Finance. Under Mongol administrators Öljay and Haga's son, the Yuan court adopted policies that were designed to ensure political and social stability. Orders were given that portraits be painted of the Khagans and Khatants during the reign of Timur. The number of the Tibetans in the administration gradually increased. The Khan family of Tibet was honored, and one of them became an imperial son-in-law in 1296. Timur reversed his grandfather's anti-Taoist policy and made Taoist Zhang Liasun co-chair of the Academy of Scholarly Worthies. In 1304, Timur appointed the Celestial Master of Dragon and Tiger Mountain as head of the Orthodox Unity School. He banned sales and distillation of alcohol in Mongolia in 1297, and the French historian René Grousset applauded his activity in the book, The Empire of Steppes. Timur was opposed to imposing any additional fiscal burden on the people. Exemptions from levies and taxes were granted several times for part or all of the yuan. After his enthronement, Timur exempted Khan Balik and Shangdu from taxes for a year. He also exempted the Mongol commoners from taxation for 2 years. In 1302 he prohibited the collection of anything beyond the established tax quotas. The financial state of the government deteriorated, however, and the draining of monetary reserves greatly weakened the credibility of the paper currency system. Corruption among the officials of the Yuan became a problem. During the last years of Timur, a peace among the Yuan dynasty and the Western Mongol Khanates were achieved around 1304 after the Kaidu-Kublai War that had lasted for more than 30 years and caused the permanent division of the Mongol Empire. Temür Khan was recognized as their nominal suzerain. While the peace itself was short-lived and the war soon resumed, this established the nominal supremacy of the Yuan dynasty over the Western Khanates that lasted for a few decades. Because his only son Teshao died a year earlier, Timur died without a male heir, in the capital Khan Balik on February 10, 1307. Southeast Asia. Soon after his enthronement in 1294, Timur called off all preparations for further expansions to Japan and the Thai Viet, whose new ruler ignored his grandfather's envoy in 1291. Timur sent his messengers to Japan and Kampa to demand submissions. Kampa accepted the terms, but Kamakura shogunate declined, and the Japanese Wokou attacked Ningbo in Zhejiang province late in his reign. The rulers of Thai Viet, Burma, and Sukhothai visited Khan Balik to greet him as their overlord in 1295, 1297, and 1300. In response to the visit from the Prince of Burma, he aborted the Burmese campaign and said to all his ministers, "They are our friendly subjects. Do not attack their people." Timur also released envoys of Thai Viet to show his goodwill, and the Tran court began to send tributary missions. But Timur's government had to quell rebellions in the southwestern mountainous area, led by tribal chieftains like Songlongji and female leader Shehi in 1296. It took long months for the generals Lu Shen and Lu Guoji to suppress these rebellions. By the request of the Burmese prince, Tribhuvanaditya, Timur dispatched a detachment of the Yuan army to Burma in 1297. They successfully repelled the Shans from Myanmar. Timur also received envoys from Siam and Cambodia. He dispatched Zhou Dagan to Khmer Cambodia in 1296, and Zhou wrote an account about his journey. In 1299 Athinkaya murdered his brother Tribhuvanaditya, who submitted to Timur in 1297. In 1300, a punitive expedition was launched against Burma for dethroning Timur's protectorate, Tribhuvanaditya. The Shan warlords of Babai Xifu, who were quarreling over the royal succession of Pagan, also raided the Yuan realms. Timur sent his Yunnan-based force in turn to halt the advance of Babek Xifu in 1301–03. Although those campaigns were fruitless, Athinkaya and the Shan lords offered their submission. The costly expedition spurred rebellions of a Yunnan official, Songlongji, and the Gold-Tooths in 1301–03. The revolts were eventually suppressed. After Temür Khan ordered to withdraw his army from Burma, central and southern Burma soon came under the Thai rulers who paid nominal tribute to the Yuan dynasty ancestors.